Sudhanshu ji, for the BJP, historically, the three biggest issues were Ram Mandir, Article 370 abrogation, and of course UCC, the Uniform Civil Code. UCC की बात काफी चर्चा हो रही है आजकल, but ना कोई draft है, ना कोई basis है, and how many people will you exempt? You'll exempt the tribals, you'll exempt the Northeast. तो क्या है UCC को लेकर आपका क्या है? What is your vision? What are the details? What are the modalities?
First, I would like to answer just in brief what he has said. He said that in 1991, when the Eastern Bloc has crippled, and then at the time, Government of India has changed. I would just like to remind two instances. They were saying that they were having equally good relation with the Russia and America. 1994, Russia backtracked, giving us the third stage cryogenic engine. ये नबी नारायण वाली मूवी उसी context में थी. In 1995, Narasimha Rao government was all set to perform the nuclear test, and it was America who stopped. So this was our equal relationship with Russia and America. And today, we are getting S-400 from Russia, and first outside NATO country to all set to get Predator drones. So that is how we have dealt equivalent balance with them, and that's how. And one more thing, I will agree to him. So previous governments have also done several very good steps, like the present transition of the economy was done by Narasimha Rao government, shedding away the Nehruvian economy. But unfortunately, those who have done significant work, whether it was Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri, who started the nuclear program, and Sri P.V. Narasimha Rao, who has transformed the economy, were not given due legitimate dignity which was to be given to them. Now coming on these three issues. ये तो आपने बहुत अच्छी बात कह दी. These three issues were in our agenda since our previous avatar, Jansangh 1951. And you cannot quote a single manifesto of Bharatiya Janata Party in which all these three things are not there. So ये इस बात का प्रमाण है कि we have never changed our stand on our basic point, and with due humility I would like to ask, quote a single political party. हमने 72 साल में कोई स्टैंड चेंज नहीं किया. आप बताइए कोई पार्टी जिसने 72 साल में 4 बार अपना स्टैंड न चेंज किया हो on the core issues, like on the issue of Ram Temple. If you remember, it was Sri P.V. Narasimha Rao as Prime Minister had said हम बाबरी मस्जिद दोबारा तामील करेंगे. And Mulayam Singh Yadav as Chief Minister said Babri Masjid dobara tamil karenge. Now they said, no, we welcome, everybody accept that the Ram Mandir should be there. So this is the change. But we were standing against the odds, and we are standing here also. We said 370 will be abrogated. We have done it. If you look after 2019, when we got certain strength in Rajya Sabha, whether it was triple talaq, halala, Hajj subsidy, several things have happened. We tried to make India a truly secular country with an equal opportunity to everybody. On the lighter note, मैं कहना चाहूँगा, after the demolition of the disputed structure in 1993 elections of 4 states, we were unable to form the government in Uttar Pradesh. SP, BSP, Congress together managed to form the government, though we were the biggest party. तो उस समय एक नारा लगा था, मिले मुलायम काशी राम, हवा में उड़ गए जय श्री राम. तो at the time, one of our leader has said कि this slogan is being raised because your unity and strength, you were not able to portray your full strength and unity. The day you will portray the full strength and unity, उस दिन जो कहते हैं कि मिले मुलायम काशी राम, हवा में उड़ गए जय श्री राम, उस दिन नारा हो जाएगा क्या मुलायम क्या काशी राम, सारे बोलेंगे जय श्री राम. और आज आप देखिए, you name a single political party which is opposing Ram Temple, and just 30 years back you name a single political party other than BJP who was supporting Ram Temple. So that's how the history is created. हम वो नहीं है जो हवा के साथ बहते हैं. वो मोदी जी के लिए कहना चाहूंगा, अंगार हार उनका जिनकी सुनहाक समय रुक जाता है, आदेश जिधर कर देते हैं इतिहास उधर मुड़ जाता है.
Manish Tiwari, on UCC, you've tweeted about this as well. What is the case for not having a common set of laws for civil matters like marriage, divorce, adoption, etc., for all Indians irrespective of their religion?
You see, the difficulty with the BJP is that it pays lip service to the Uniform Civil Code. It does not understand what a Uniform Civil Code means. If you read Article 44 of the Constitution, it talks about a uniform civil code. It doesn't talk about a common civil code. There is a fundamental distinction between a uniform civil code and a common civil code. When Dr. Ambedkar, if you go back to the Constituent Assembly debates, introduced Article 44, which is a non-binding directive principle of state policy, the wording that was used was that the state shall endeavor to have a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India. What does that mean? It means that there will be certain egalitarian principles which will underpin every personal law with regard to inheritance, with regard to gender equity, with regard to succession, with regard to property rights. And in fact, it was the UPA government between 2004 and 14 which really brought about progressive legislation which ensured gender equity, especially with regard to inheritance laws. And so therefore, if the BJP was so very clear about what uniform civil code means, they won't be going around saying that we'll exempt the tribals, we'll exempt the Christians, right? So if you're going to exempt the tribals, you're going to exempt the Christians, why will you not exempt the Muslims? Why will you not exempt the Sikhs? Do you think the Sikh community is going to accept that the Anand Marriage Act, which they fought for, and we had amendment in 2012, that is going to be abrogated and replaced by a common law? And in any case, you have a voluntary uniform civil code in this country, and that voluntary uniform civil code is the Special Marriages Act 1954, read along with the Indian Succession Act. So it is not as if India does not have a uniform civil code. That is a voluntary opt-in. Unfortunately for them, a uniform civil code is really a dog whistle. I can elaborate on that, but we are running out of time. And two more things which I would like to say. The story with regard to Article 370 is not over. Since I'm counsel in that matter and the Supreme Court is going to start hearing it from the 2nd of August on a daily basis, till the time the court does not adjudicate on the constitutionality of it, the story with regard to the illegal abrogation of 370 and for the first time in the constitutional history of India, turning a state into two union territories, that story is not over. What happened on 5th and 6th of August 2019 in both houses of parliament was a constitutional travesty which is being adjudicated. And on Ram Mandir, let me finally say, Dr. Trivedi talked about changing stances. Our stance has been very clear from day one. We said that the matter will be adjudicated by the highest court and whatever the court decides will be acceptable. And that's exactly what we have done. So therefore, it's very easy to really make these hyperbole allegations of trying to run with the hare and hunt with the hound without really getting into the nitty-gritty of it. I would really commend to the BJP that they should revisit what exactly do they mean when they talk about a uniform civil code.
Okay, we have 4 minutes.
Can I
quickly, sir? Yeah.
Quickly. I just quoting his leaders. Jawaharlal Nehru in 1956 giving an interview to a Hungarian journalist, Timur Monde. He is written in his book, Nehru's View, India and Others. He talks about common civil code. And then Nehru said confidently, I have decided for Hindus, now they cannot have two marriages, succession and others. Then he asked, what about the Muslims? The word of, I cannot dare to think about that. It is the word I cannot dare. Then he asks, why? Because I want that they should remain with their religious beliefs and others. Then he says, if the Turkey can do, why can't you? He said, no, that's a Muslim country, but we are a Hindu majority country. We do not want to touch. It is Nehru. And now during the Rajiv Gandhi time, when Shah Bano case came, Arif Sahab himself has told it that one of the cabinet minister of Rajiv Gandhi government has asked him, why you are opposing Shah Bano case? Then he told, because I am thinking that this is taking Muslims backward. So he was saying that the cabinet minister of Rajiv Gandhi government said, Muslim gutter mein pade rehna chahte hain, to unhe pade rehne do, tum kyun unki chakkar mein pad rahe ho. And that's how I would just put a data in 1931 census. The rate of literacy of India was 8 to 10%. In Uttar Pradesh, the most literate community of the Hindus, it was a caste-based census. Brahmins were having 15% and Sayyid Muslims 24% rate of literacy. But in 67 years, they have come down to the stage of Sachar Commission and this. इसीलिए कहते हैं ना, किसी को किसी की मोहब्बत ने मारा, किसी को किसी की अदावत ने मारा, शराफत अली को सेकुलर सियासत ने मारा.
Manish.
Well, I have nothing to say. He's just validated the charge of a dog whistle. If the BJP is so confident about a uniform civil code, let them come with a draft of a uniform civil code. You see, ultimately, when you talk about a uniform civil code, are you going to do away with the entire concept of an HUF, the Hindu undivided family, right? Or are you then going to allow a Muslim undivided family, a Christian undivided family, a Jain undivided family, as taxing mechanisms in your tax laws? Are you then going to ensure that the exceptions which have been built into the Hindu Marriage Act itself to allow for certain customary marriages to take place, which do not invalidate the marriage or the whole concept of spinda marriages, are you going to do away with that? So therefore, it's very easy to do this dog whistling. I challenge the BJP to come up with a draft of a uniform civil code which is actually uniform in character. If they could have conceptualized a draft, their leaders would not be going and saying that we are exempting the tribals, we are exempting the Christians, we are exempting X and Y. The simple reason for that is that they also know it is not possible to have a uniform civil code, and that's what I'm saying, that it's a dog whistle. And what Mr. Trivedi unfortunately said, or Dr. Trivedi said, actually validated that dog whistle.
All right, one final word. I have less than 1 minute left, so 30 seconds each. In one sentence, why should India vote for Mr. Modi and for the NDA? And to Manish Tiwari, why should India vote for the Congress party or the opposition? Sudhanshu Trivedi first, in one sentence.
स्वप्न देखा था कभी वो आज हर धड़कन में है, एक नया भारत बनाने का इरादा मन में है और बढ़ रहे हैं हम प्रगति की ओर उस रफ्तार से, कर रहा है विश्व भी हमको नमन उस पार से.
Manish Tiwari, in one sentence.
In one sentence, very simply, for democracy to survive, change is important. Change is the essence and the lifeblood of democracy, and that's why in 2024, a change is important. It is imperative, it is necessary, and it will happen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Sudhanshu Trivedi and Manish Tiwari, please put your hands together for these two gentlemen from the BJP and the Congress.
Thank you so much.